And if you really want to know about an influential woman who is really powerful, is good at leadership and is very humble about it, you should definitely know about Sudha Sankaran ma'am. She is the managing director of Alstom Global Finance Center. That company made freaking $18.5 billion, that too previous year. 750 employees under her leadership and she's managing 3 countries altogether. That's what you call an influential person. And if you are someone who's really looking out to learn about business, how organization works, or a professional who's early in their career, or just a person who's starting their business out, you should definitely stick with the series where I would be telling you all the secrets that I have learned talking to these influential people. You would not get anything that I'm gonna say on podcast or book, because these are all real life experiences that they shared with us. And the best part, she was humble about everything, sweet, articulate, and every question we asked, she answered in such a sweet manner. Bhai, I was in awe. Moreover, she did mention about 3 things that one should know who's starting a business or wants to be a great leader. And I would be sharing you out, as I said earlier, for free. So follow me to get notified whenever I would drop a new video. If your team sucks, then you suck. You cannot do anything about it. She said you are only good as your team, and I completely agree with her. I know what questions you might have. What if I am good and my team is bad? If your team is consistently performing poor, either you have hired wrong or you are not leading right. Either fix it or leave it. What if I am the problem? This question requires lot of self-awareness, and you need to keep your fragile ego aside to even come to this conclusion. You just need to ask yourself, are people willing to work with me? Are they happy working with me? Then you have your answer. What if I'm stuck in a lazy culture? If you are a high performer and you are in such bad toxic environment, you would eventually feel drained out mentally and physically, and you would quit that place. And being an organization, you don't want good talent to go away from you. So you always need to keep an audit of your culture. If you have a bad fish, remove that bad fish. Why you want to spoil that whole pond because of that? Now that you have fixed your team, that doesn't mean you are a great leader. A great leader needs to be fair, ethical, inclusive, and transparent with everyone. Collective intelligence is always gonna outshine the individual intelligence. That's what Sudha ma'am said. And I also agree. Like, it is logic. If you think one person can do everything, you are wrong. I am the person who used to think I can manage everything by my own. I can't. And when you have good team who's giving out their best, and you are also giving out your best, you win. No matter what, you will win. Have you ever wondered one team is working amazingly and other team is just chaos? Sudha ma'am told us there are 2 important P's in an organization. One is people, one other is process. And you need both of them to make your organization go smooth. And process is nothing but system and workflows. You tell me, if you can hold your ear like this, why you want to hold your ear like this? You can't even reach it, right? That's what process is. You need to have a systematic process which is easy to adapt and simple at the same time. That doesn't put lot of effort to execute a simple task. What if you have great people but no system? There is going to be chaos. Even talented people need process to execute in a very efficient manner. What if leadership doesn't care about either? You got 2 choices after that. Either stay or leave. If you choose to stay, you would burn out mentally because of the pressure that is going to get reflected onto your physical health, and eventually that would lead to you hating your job. And when you leave, you would try finding a place that actually values you and your work, which would reduce your mental pressure, and eventually you would perform well, man. Just imagine you are a sales rep and your boss says you have to achieve this target. But whenever you are going to make a decision, you need to call your boss and ask, boss, can I do this? Boss, can I do this? Boss, can I do this? Eventually you are like, man, I don't want to work in an environment where I always need to constantly ask for permission if I can do this or not. If you are giving me an authority, give it with full manner so that I can execute things. These 2 things go hand in hand, and if organization has a good culture and environment, people love working over there, and eventually it's a victory for both. We study for 15-20 years in school, colleges, and we think we are ready. And when we enter that market thinking I know everything, I have learned everything, that is the time when we realize I know nothing. If you understand this, it will make your life 10 times easier. The paradox of learning. And Sudha ma'am said only 3 words that you need to understand to get over this paradox. Learn, unlearn, relearn. These 3 things needs to be repeated in your life every given moment of time. It applies to everything. First you learn basics, then you enter your work life, and then you realize majority of the things are outdated. Keep that fragile ego of yours aside and unlearn everything that you have learned. Old habits, old thinking, old way of doing work, and that's where ego comes in play. man, I have studied so many years, spent so much of time learning a skill, now it is outdated, now I have to repeat the whole process again. There is pain that is gonna come from inside, but you have to do it. There is no other option, or else you're gonna get stuck in life. Same place, same environment, same company. No one wants to feel stuck, right? And you must have seen things in real life as well. Every new job, every new organization, every new business is going to demand a reset, where you have to unlearn the things that are not required and pick the skill that you require the most. And if you can't do this, you're gonna get stuck in that particular loop. Adding on to this, she also said one thing: before you enter a business, do your homework, do your research, find things that you don't know, learn about that particular skill that would give you an advantage over the business. Do not just start or get into something that you barely know about and you find it interesting. That's good that you find it interesting, but have some relevancy in that particular skill, domain, or business that you're gonna start. And whenever you feel stuck, you can always do the SWOT and SOAR analysis that we talked about in the previous video, and follow these 3 words: learn, unlearn, and relearn. It would help you so much to get better at a particular skill, at particular moment of life, because you are someone who is okay going through that same thing again, because there is so much to gain as things are going to get more relevant to you. And if you want to take only one thing from this video, take the paradox of learning: learn, unlearn, and relearn.